You've been planning this trip for ages, and now you're almost on top of the world. You're climbing toward a mountain peak thousands of feet above sea level.
19,583 feet above sea level. Yes.
It's been an exhausting journey. But it's about to get worse. Much worse. Your muscles cramp up. You feel dizzy and sick to your stomach. This is altitude sickness. Choose to do the wrong thing now, and it could be lethal. Should you A, climb at a slower pace so your body has time to adjust? B, hike down the mountain as fast as you can? Or C, stay where you are until your symptoms subside?
Altitude sickness is basically your body attempting to compensate for this lack of oxygen. Since your body doesn't have as much, it doesn't have what it needs to drive its normal processes.
Altitude sickness really has a whole host of problems, signs, and symptoms. Probably the most important is that the person reaching a high altitude feels really fatigued and really short of breath. People often talk about that high altitude fog where they feel like they're in a fog, they're feeling spacey.
I'm so tired, it's ridiculous.
You end up with a situation where the person becomes progressively more disoriented and also ends up with something called gait ataxia, basically meaning they get extremely clumsy. You can test by having them walk a line. You know, just like pretend you're a cop. Have them walk the line.
Yeah, so I can walk in the line. The line test where I'm going to walk first and then you're going to walk after me? I remember it.
There's two other more radical forms of altitude sickness known as HAPE, which is high altitude pulmonary edema, or HACE, which is high altitude cerebral edema. And both of those, if not dealt with immediately, can lead to death.
Your question? I need to get some new music. What? Water. Wizard. What is it called? Wazazoo. There's symptoms besides slurred speech. I can't talk normally. Does your head hurt? No.
Patients will often suffer from dizziness, headaches, and in fact that may move on to seizures and coma. So it can be very life-threatening and devastating.
And here you are, down on the ground and sick as a dog. So what would you do right now to survive? Your best course of action is B, hike down to a lower elevation immediately.
The best treatment for high altitude sickness is to get down from that altitude as fast as possible. The faster you get down, the better you are, and the symptoms actually can abate or lessen.
It's only 5 minutes left. I think you can make it. Okay, 5 minutes pause.
The problem is, on big mountains especially, you may have planned for this for years and been saving your money for the longest time. And you just don't want to admit to the fact that you have to turn around. But you have to turn around. It's the only way to deal with altitude sickness is to get down, to descend.
Choose to climb higher or even stay where you are, and you could be in dire trouble.
If you decide to stay at the mountain even though you're having profound symptoms, the symptoms will inevitably get worse. So your brain symptoms, your respiratory symptoms, your circulatory symptoms, all of those things together will lead to unresponsiveness and shock.
Even expert climbers can be caught off guard by this deadly condition.
Seriously, it can affect anyone at any time, even if you've never had it before. An experienced mountaineer can go many years without having it, and then one day just descend to even 8,000 feet and feel sick.
Shit, I can barely breathe right now.
Always stay hydrated and ascend slowly to help prevent an attack of altitude sickness. But if you feel the effects of the dangerous condition, head back down as quickly as possible. There's no shame in turning around when your life is on the line.